On this Halloween day, I am going to share a spooky story with you. But I don't celebrate Halloween. But I know it's real, the things that happen on this day. There are really dark things happening, and I also know that not everyone who celebrates Halloween is into the occult and or witchcraft. Some people just like to dress up and eat candy, and I don't judge that. But knowing what I know, I do not even want to inadvertently invite any negative, dark energies into my vicinity, so I don't participate. That being said, I've already uploaded a number of videos today talking about spooky, dark experiences I've had. And one of those stories has to do with me finding myself on a property in the Mojave Desert with a bunch of people who were involved in a satanic cult. Okay, I uploaded a 35-minute video about that entire experience. Now this video is me taking an outcropping of that story in case you don't want to listen to the whole thing. This has to do with the power of words and spell casting. Words have power, thoughts have power, intention has power. That's why we pray to God, and that's why some people do spell work, because it has power, for good or bad, our words. So, I have discovered I am at a cult, okay? I went there to this place to do a work exchange on a farm. They've decided I would make a great candidate for their cult, so they're trying to indoctrinate me. As part of that indoctrination, they've shown me a satanic temple, okay? I decide I'm leaving. Before I can leave, I turn a corner at the property and I run smack dab into the cult leader. Now, here are the words that were exchanged between us, and here's what happened and why this is proof, I believe, that words have power, for good or bad. Now, the guy says to me, "Can you do me a favor?" I'm thinking, yeah, whatever I got to do to get away from you. So I say, yeah, sure, what's up? He says, "I have just put a casserole in the oven for the forced labor." Okay, forced labor, he says. As soon as he says those words, something falls out of the bottom of my running shorts. I catch it. I do not know what's in my hand. I don't know if he has just seen what has happened. He keeps talking. He says, "I put a casserole in the oven for the forced labor. Can you take it out in 20 minutes and send me a text and let me know if it's ready so I can tell the guys their lunch is ready?" I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. He's talking about Mexican workers who have crossed the border to work for him, undocumented workers. And he had made a joke the night before about how he has to pay them hardly anything, and he could probably get away with just paying them in beer if he wanted to. So this is the kind of person I'm dealing with here, okay? He's basically using these people as slave labor, and he's referring to these people as forced labor. He says this, he leaves, he turns the corner, I open my hand. In my hand is the lining of my uterus. That's right, at the very moment this man said the words, forced labor, the lining of my uterus fell out into my hand. I started my period at that very moment. I look to be holding what you would probably find in a scenario where there was a forced labor. Right? Okay. Now maybe that's TMI, it's gross, it is, I know. Never in my life have I ever had my uterus, the lining of it, fall out into my hand. Never, 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 never. Never before, never since that moment where this man used the words forced labor. Now this is a person who practices witchcraft, the occult. He conjures demons in a temple, which he showed me. Now, maybe all this is just a coincidence. I don't think so. I left promptly thereafter, okay? Now, I have linked the story, the entire story, below in the description. Check it out. I'm also going to provide a video of me touring that temple because I snuck back in before I left and documented the entire thing, because there is a live birth certificate in that temple hanging above an altar to a demon that requires child sacrifice. I documented all of that because I later called the Mojave Sheriff's Department and reported what I saw, because there's a 4-year-old child on that property. So check it out. And if you're celebrating Halloween, be careful.